Here are 2 favorite ways to make any exercise easier. We're going to show 2 exercises as examples. The first is a reverse lunge, which looks like that. And then the second is a pull-up, which looks like this.
Perfect. So those are the 2 exercises that we're going to use as examples to demonstrate these 2 techniques for making any exercise easier. So Travis, what is our first technique?
The first technique is band assistance. So for this technique, you will hold on to a band that's anchored from above. So in this case, we have this band anchored to a pull-up bar, and Jenni will pull down on the band. So the band is going to pull her back up, and that takes some of her body weight away from the exertion of the reverse lunge.
That's right. So this like resistance band is helping me to make my lunge a little easier.
Right. So as you stretch it, you create tension on the band that pulls you back up.
That's right. So that's the way that band assistance can help make a lunge easier, but we can also use band assistance to make a pull-up easier. And Travis is going to show this right here. So he's looped the band around his knee, and now that band is helping give him like a little extra help as he pulls himself up. So this is a band assisted pull-up. And it's just the same technique applied to another exercise.
Right. And the band tends to help the most in the bottom position when it's most stretched, which is also where we tend to be the weakest.
In a pull-up?
Right. It's hardest to start at the from the dead hang.
Exactly. So it gives us help there. Yeah, for sure. And of course, we can apply this band assistance technique to any other exercise, and it'll look different per exercise. But these are just 2 examples to show how you could use a band in a lunge and a pull-up. What is our second technique that we can use to make any exercise easier?
Our second technique is partial or reduced range of motion. So range of motion is the degrees that you're moving through, or the distance that you're moving through in an exercise.
So like in a lunge, like full range would be knee to floor, right?
Right. So full range of motion is the most range of motion that you could use, but you can also do partial range of motion. So in the case of the reverse lunge, Jenni will put this yoga block under her knee, or where her knee is going to tap. And as you can see, she doesn't go as far down into the lunge because the pad or the block prevents her from going all the way down. If you didn't have a yoga block, you could use a pillow, you could use an RX pad in a gym, that sort of thing.
Totally. And by reducing the range of motion, it just helps me move through a range that's a little easier to control, right?
Right, because the hardest part of the reverse lunge is the bottom.
Exactly.
You have to work the most. So if you're not quite strong enough to do that bottom portion, or you just want to find a way to make it a little bit easier, you just eliminate that. You chop that last part off and just work in the top part of the range.
Totally. So that's how we could apply that technique to a lunge, but how could we apply a reduced range of motion to a pull-up? So here, the 2 blocks are stacked underneath Travis's foot, and that's helped reduce the range of motion because...
So now when I'm standing on it, my elbows are a little bit bent to start.
Exactly. So he's not having to start in that full dead hang. That would be the full range of motion.
Right here, but because I can stand here, then I just work that top maybe 3/4 of the range.
Exactly. So that's a reduced range of motion, or sometimes called a partial range of motion pull-up. And it's yet another way to make an exercise easier by reducing the range.
Right.
Yeah. So these are 2 techniques, band assistance and reducing range of motion, that you can apply to just about any exercise to make it more accessible, less challenging. And we utilize these techniques quite a bit in our work together.
That's true. It just makes more options for people.
Exactly. And that's always a good thing. So thank you, Travis.
Thanks, Jenni.